nice.
Got some
So
good.
we're unboxing the CVF pulley kit for the L83 on the rematch frame. I went with polished, ceramic coated, C3 ceramic coated, whatever that means. But it has a coating. They said the aluminum won't dull. He said all you do is wipe it with a wet rag. It doesn't need any polish.
It's good, man.
So we'll see. We'll see. They sent a crank bolt. Belt, obviously. Power steering pump with attached reservoir that comes attached, which is surprising because the videos that I watch, you have to put it together. So
Maybe they gave you a used one.
maybe. Yeah. So we're just gonna unbox this stuff real quick here.
Oh,
I did I don't know how many groove that is.
usually like a 10. Like a 10 groove. Might be 8. 1, 2, 3.
This is
8.
for the crank bracket or adapter. Let me keep this stuff together.
Oh yeah, this is the adapter.
Yeah. So from the looks of it, that bolts to the crank. You don't remove the crank pulley, the factory crank pulley. It looks like that just bolts in, and then a pulley bolts to that. And then the belt goes basically in front of the crank is what it looks like. So. Did a pretty good job of packaging. It got here quick. I think they advertised it ships within 48 hours, which it did. I ordered it on a Friday, and I got it the following Monday. Surprising.
So did you shop around, or was this just the one?
This is, I mean, you can do the Dirty Dingo, which the Red Rocket did. That's a cheaper kit, but you still have to buy some stuff. I think you still got to buy the LS water pump and whatever else. I know at one point he ended up upgrading alternators. I think the Dirty Dingo is the best budget. It's the cheapest kit. I mean, when he built his car, that was all that was available. I mean, he's had that car for like 3 or 4 years already. With this, they do CVF, I think Concept 1 or something like that, which is kind of expensive.
March.
I don't think March makes a LT pulley kit.
Okay.
Billet Specialties does, which is the most expensive. Water pump. It's a water pump adapter.
Man, that looks really nice. Nice and beefy. Look at that.
Yeah, basically, I think it's an adapter to adapt to use the LS water pump.
Solid.
Really, the only bad thing that I've seen about this company, and it's just based off of YouTube videos I watch, is sometimes the kit is incomplete. It's missing bolts and stuff. I mean, when you did yours, it came with was it missing anything?
No. Everything was good.
Everything was
Well, it didn't come complete. They ended up shipping me the crank pulley separate.
good. So they forgot to ship that.
No, it was just they sent me the wrong one to begin with. So, but I wasn't in a hurry. I don't
So
think.
this is your crank pulley, I assume.
Oh yeah, so on the boxes, you're gonna like that. Look at it, turn it around, flip it around. Look. Nicely labeled as to what it is, right?
Yeah.
So it's crank pulley.
Yep. I dig it so far. Just getting excited. About to drop shit. Water pump.
Water pump. Yep.
Water pump gaskets, which I did some research, and a guy that I recently started watching, he might be watching right now, suggested to not use these because where to put them?
Right there.
These,
Yeah.
these call for RTV.
Mm-hmm.
So you can use the ones that I bought. Basically,
What are they, like metal?
OEM that have an embossed O-ring, no RTV. So they were like, I don't know, $12 or something like that. So why not? So LS water pump. I did upgrade alternators.
Yeah, I want to see this because I didn't upgrade. Maybe I should have.
I think this one is like 300 amp.
Yeah, it says it right here.
Huh?
GM one wire 300 amp.
300 amp alternator. This was like $500.
Right.
But
That's from people's paycheck, man. You spending on car parts, man.
hey, no comment. But you know,
Oh, that's nice too.
buy now or buy later.
Is that a chrome? What is that?
Looks like it.
Yeah, that looks really nice.
Woo! I dig it. Yeah, buy now or buy later, man. I'd rather buy now. That way I ain't got no problems. Another thing about CVS is they offer lifetime warranty and all this stuff.
Nice.
So, and from what I hear, they're pretty good. I don't want to speak too soon, but I mean, that's one of the reasons why I went with them, is because of the reviews. You got your stuff, you're pretty satisfied with it.
Yeah. I had a good customer service experience with them as well. Whenever I contacted them about that, they said, "Oh yeah, we forgot to ship this out. We're gonna ship it out." Whatever. So.
Man, I got a lot of boxes I need to get rid of.
Christmas, man. Have Eli thinking he's gonna get a CVF Pulley kit.
This thing is hasn't been cheap. I'll tell you that.
Okay, so for the people watching at home, they want to spend the money on the kit. How much was it, or is that a too personal question?
No, this kit right here was $3,000. That's with the upgraded alternator. That's with the power steering. That's with the power steering hoses braided, and that's with the ceramic coating.
So that's with a bunch of upgrades.
There was a bunch of upgrades.
So if you don't get the upgrades,
I want to say it's been around 2.
okay, reasonable. Yeah, that's what I spent on mine. Mine was 2, a little bit under 2. So 19.
I mean, like I say, 500 of that was the alternator, which I don't know what an alternator costs these days if you had to go buy one.
For newer vehicles, yeah, pretty sure you're spending about 5.
Exactly. So, you know, it feels like a gut punch at first, but
Tensioner. Yeah.
I mean, that's just compare it like your truck. Like if you had to buy an alternator for your truck, what's that gonna cost? I mean, how much is a battery? Like $200 for a battery?
I just bought a new battery. It was $260.
That's insane.
Yeah, for a battery.
Hey, that's nuts. But I think we're nearing the end here. AC fitting, that's what I figured. Idler.
AC. That's probably AC, right?
AC compressor.
It's got to be. You got to have AC. You got to run AC. Oh yeah, that's nice, dude.
Got a protective coating on it to keep it from rusting.
Yeah, man. This is nice stuff,
And we got the
man.
instructions. So,
Bolt kit and all that. Yeah.
so basically, this is the heart of the kit from what I've watched.
Yes, that's very important. That's where everything bolts up to.
So you sandwich your water pump between this and the adapter, and then AC compressor, alternator, power steering, tensioner, idler somewhere around here, crank. Pretty much it. Here's the water pump. O-rings I was talking about. These are OEM.
Very nice.
Opted for this instead of this.
That looks nice in quality, man. Nice thick. Very nice.
Also got some stainless steel headers. Speed Engineering, I believe is the company. Same ones on the Red Rocket. I wish they were ceramic coated. Might get them ceramic coated. The ones I was looking at, ceramic coated headers, were like $700.
So if you
almost
don't,
$8.
if you don't get them coated,
They're
what?
gonna blue, tarnish. You get them ceramic coated, then they're bulletproof. So this is what we're doing tomorrow. You excited about it? I set that on last night. Which it wasn't bad. It wasn't bad. Yeah, I guess I'll bring you guys back tomorrow once we get started. We'll do a time lapse on it. Maybe. All right, so here we are. It's Sunday, October 9th. It's about 11 o'clock in the morning. I'm going to be putting on some shiny stuff. We did the unboxing yesterday. I did a little bit of homework, and I think we're ready to put this kit on. So we got the whole pulley kit. I also have some headers I'm going to put on. So hopefully in a couple hours here, this table will be completely empty. There'll be no leftover bolts. That's what we're aiming for. But it seems like once the water pump assembly goes on, the thing is pretty straightforward. One thing to note is I believe you gotta have this little wiring harness hooked up first, because once the water pump is on, it's really hard to get to, and you won't be able to plug into your sensors. So I had to dig that out. I'm gonna clean that up a little bit, and then we'll be moving forward. So I'll bring you guys back once I get things sorted out and get the water pump ready to put on. All right, so here we are, just like that, it's done. I didn't record anything because this thing went on really easy and really fast. So the process, basically, I duplicated what a guy I follow does. I believe his name is Can't Stand Still, or Can't Sit Still. I'll put a link on the video, but he had a video basically doing a step-by-step process on this install that was better than the directions that come from CVF. So basically what we did was we made what he calls a water pump sandwich, which is the LS, or the adapter for the LT to the LS water pump, and the water pump, and then the main bracket that holds everything. So we sandwiched that. We used the O-ring embossed gaskets, and then the metal gaskets against the block that it provides. So we didn't use the paper gaskets. Once that was on, idler arm was next. The instructions say alternator next, but idler arm next. It's easier to get to without the alternator or the power steering. So idler arm, then power steering, then alternator, then AC compressor, then tensioner. Crank was last. The Milwaukee 1/2-inch impact struggled at first to get the original crank bolt out. I was getting a little worried because it wasn't working, but I stayed on it and it eventually took it off. I did put the sensor harness on first because, as you can see, it's nearly impossible to get in there and plug in the sensors. So we did that first, and after that, the thing went pretty straightforward. It's a really good kit. Everything is machined nice. Like I said, when we unboxed it, it has the ceramic coating, so it shouldn't dull. Alternator's chrome, AC compressor's chrome. We threw on the headers, Speed Engineering headers. We just did that right now. They clear no problem. The Power steering clears no problem. So all we're going to do now is make the hoses. I got a kit, power steering hose kit from CVF. So I guess the hoses are cut to fit. You have to look at some instructions there on there. But overall, man, this thing went together like in not even an hour. Really easy, really straightforward. Looks good. So guess we'll bring you back once we put these power steering hoses on. All right, so here we are. We're done for the day. Unfortunately, didn't get very far with the power steering hoses. I don't like the whole stainless steel braided. I don't have the right tool to cut them, so the slip over fitting was not wanting to cooperate. So I'm gonna have to rethink that. I'm actually thinking about just hardlining the whole thing. Just got to get the right fittings. We went ahead and put the car intake on. Well, we got the headers on. I don't know if I showed that earlier. Put the car intake on. Right now it's got the Corvette covers. I'm thinking I'm going to buy some blanks and paint them, and maybe have somebody pinstripe the name of the car on the covers, maybe. Just trying to think outside the box here. Need to buy a spark plugs. Coil packs are on. That's pretty much it. So just to recap, got a lot of clearance in the front. The oil pan with the sliders, Dirty Dingo sliders. Holly oil pan or knockoff oil pan. When we wrap the frame, we recessed the cross member, so there's plenty of room back here, both sides. We did tighten up the tie rod linkage and all that today, so now I'm just going to push this thing into the other garage, keep it clean. It's probably going to sit there for the better part of a year. Still need some odds and ends, still need a throttle body. Got a little list of stuff I need to get. But overall, the CVF kit I think was a good purchase. I really like it. It's nice and compact, and it's got a lifetime warranty. So hope you guys enjoyed this. Bring you back and get some more work in.